Today we're setting sail for some of the most uncharted waters in the One Piece world, the Void Century.
A period so mysterious, so shrouded in secrecy, it's almost like it never happened.
It's more than just a blank page in history books, though, right? I mean, we're talking a full 100 years completely wiped clean, erased.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so fascinating. What could possibly have happened during this time that's so dangerous, so threatening to the world government, they'd go to such lengths to bury it?
That's the million-berry question, isn't it? What are we dealing with here? A global war? Some kind of cataclysmic event? Or maybe something even more unsettling?
Well, that's what we're here to explore. The clues, the whispers, the fragments of information that have managed to survive.
Okay, so where do we even begin? If the world government has been so successful at erasing this period, what sources do we even have to work with?
A few key pieces of the puzzle remain, and the most intriguing of these are the poneglyphs. Ancient, indestructible stone tablets inscribed with a language only a select few can decipher.
Ah, the poneglyphs. These things are like historical Fort Knox, right? Built to withstand anything. Almost like whoever created them knew someone would try to erase their message.
It's a pretty safe bet they knew something big was coming, something that would reshape the world as they knew it, and they wanted to make sure that knowledge survived no matter what.
So these poneglyphs, are they scattered all over the place, or is there a pattern to their location?
That's where things get really interesting. They're not random at all. We find them in specific locations, places like Fishman Island, Wano Country, Skypiea.
Hold on a second. Those are some pretty significant locations in the One Piece world, even in the present day. Are we saying these places were key players in the Void Century?
It's a strong possibility. And their very existence, their continued presence in the world, could be a threat to the world government's version of history.
It makes you wonder, why go to so much trouble to erase the Void Century if these islands, these potential remnants of that era, are still around?
Perhaps those in power believe they can control the narrative, even if the physical evidence remains. Or maybe there's something more, something even more dangerous hidden on those islands, waiting to be discovered.
Okay, we've got forbidden history, indestructible records, and islands steeped in mystery. Anything else we should add to this puzzle box?
Well, there's one more piece that we can't ignore. A figure shrouded in mystery, whose name is whispered with both reverence and fear. Joy Boy.
Joy Boy. Who is this guy? Some kind of legendary pirate? A ruler? A prophet?
He's a bit of an enigma, even to us diehard fans. We know he lived during the Void Century and that he left behind messages, apologies etched into stone.
Apologies. Why would someone so seemingly powerful need to apologize?
That's part of the mystery, isn't it? And then there's the promise he made, a promise he couldn't keep, a promise that seems to echo through the centuries, reaching even into the present day.
All right, so we've got secret islands, indestructible records, a mysterious figure, and a broken promise. Where do we go from here?
We need to dig deeper, look for connections, try to understand the forces at play during this lost era. And there's one name that keeps surfacing, a name that might hold the key to unlocking the truth of the Void Century. The Great Kingdom.
Whoa, hold on. The Great Kingdom? We're talking about a kingdom so powerful, so advanced, it's been completely erased from history.
That's the theory. And the world government's obsession with burying the Void Century makes you wonder if they're not just hiding a period of time, but hiding the very existence of this kingdom, this potential threat to their authority.
So what happened to them? If they were so powerful, how could they just disappear?
That's where the puzzle gets even more complex. Because alongside the whispers of the Great Kingdom, we also hear whispers of something else. Ancient weapons of unimaginable power, Pluton, Poseidon, Uranus.
Wait, are we talking about weapons capable of mass destruction, like world-ending kind of stuff?
It's certainly implied. And the existence of these weapons suggests that the Void Century wasn't just a quiet period in history. It was a time of upheaval, perhaps even a global war.
Okay, I'm starting to see the picture here. We've got a powerful kingdom, potentially wielding incredibly destructive weapons, and then, poof, they vanish from history. This is starting to sound less like a historical gap and more like a cover-up.
And that begs the question, who orchestrated this cover-up? Who had the power to erase an entire century and rewrite history in their favor?
Well, who benefits from the Void Century being a secret? Who holds the power in the present day?
The world government. And the more we learn about their origins, the more suspicious they become. Officially, they claim to have formed from an alliance of 20 kingdoms united for peace and stability. But what if that's not the whole story?
What are you suggesting? That those 20 kingdoms weren't uniting for peace, but for something far more sinister?
It's certainly a possibility. What if those kingdoms were responsible for the downfall of the Great Kingdom? What if they erased the Void Century not to protect the world, but to protect their own power?
So the world government, the supposed guardians of peace and justice, might actually be built on a foundation of lies and conquest. That's a chilling thought.
And it makes you wonder about all those symbols of power, those rituals and traditions they hold so dear. Take the empty throne in Mary Joyce, for example. They say it's a symbol of equality among the founding nations. But what if it's not meant to be empty at all?
What if it's waiting for someone? Or maybe it represents something that's missing, something that's been deliberately removed from history.
And then there's the shadowy figure of Im, someone who sits above even the five elders, someone whose very existence is a closely guarded secret.
Okay, this is getting seriously mind-blowing. Are we saying there might be a secret ruler? Someone pulling the strings from behind the scenes? Someone who might even be a remnant of that ancient world? Someone who orchestrated the events of the Void Century?
It's a tantalizing possibility, isn't it? And it raises the biggest question of all. How much of what we think we know about the One Piece world is based on a lie?
It's a terrifying thought. The world government controlling information, manipulating history, silencing anyone who dares to question the narrative.
But the truth has a way of surfacing, wouldn't you say? There are cracks in their facade, whispers and rumors, and even some tangible clues scattered throughout the world, like those who carry the will of D.
Ah, the D, that mysterious initial that seems to connect some of the most enigmatic and powerful figures in the One Piece world.
Luffy, Roger, Blackbeard, Law, they all carry that initial, and they all seem to share a certain rebellious spirit, a willingness to challenge authority and fight for what they believe in.
Do you think the D represents a bloodline connection to the Great Kingdom? Or maybe something more ideological, a symbol of resistance against those who seek to control the world?
It's a question that's been debated by fans for years, and honestly, we don't have a definitive answer, but it's clear that the D signifies something significant, something connected to the lost history of the Void Century.
And then there's the One Piece itself, the legendary treasure that everyone's chasing. Could it be connected to the Void Century as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what if the One Piece isn't just about riches and fame? What if it's something that could expose the truth of the Void Century, or even give someone the power to challenge the world government directly?
Now that's a thought.
Before we continue, Nakama, if you're enjoying our journey through the One Piece world,
Make sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button.
and don't forget the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss an episode of Mean Minion as we tackle more mysteries, theories, and epic reveals.
Your support helps us keep the adventure going, so thanks for being part of our crew.
Let's get back to it.
What if the One Piece is a weapon or a key to unlocking some ancient technology or even just knowledge, the truth of what really happened during those lost 100 years?
That would certainly shake things up, wouldn't it? It could spark revolutions, topple empires, and reshape the entire world. And that brings us to one of the most intriguing figures in the One Piece world, Vegapunk.
Vegapunk, the leading scientist of the Marines, the guy who seems to know everything about everything.
Exactly. And he's hinted at something truly mind-blowing, the possibility of memory erasure on a massive scale.
You're telling me that the world government might have actually wiped people's memories? Like a global brainwashing?
It sounds crazy, but given everything else we know about the Void Century, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Imagine a global event so traumatic, so world-altering, that they chose to erase it from human memory completely.
That explains why there's so little information about this period. It's not just missing records, it's missing memories. But why go to such lengths? What happened during the Void Century that was so dangerous, so revolutionary, that they had to erase it from human consciousness itself?
That, my friend, is the ultimate question, isn't it? And it's a question that will continue to drive us, to push us to explore the depths of this world, to piece together the fragments of truth, and to maybe, just maybe, uncover the secrets that have been buried for centuries.
Memory erasure. It's almost like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It is pretty wild, right? But it speaks to the lengths the world government is willing to go to maintain their control.
And it makes you wonder, what else have they manipulated? What other narratives have they twisted to fit their agenda?
That's the rabbit hole we're going down here, isn't it? We can't take anything at face value. We have to question everything.
Well, if we're questioning everything, we have to talk about the will of D.
Ah, yes. The D, the initial that connects so many of the key players in this story.
It's more than just a letter, wouldn't you say? It feels like a symbol, a legacy, maybe even a destiny.
Definitely. And it seems to represent a certain rebellious spirit, a willingness to challenge the established order.
Like Luffy, he practically embodies that spirit, always fighting for what he believes in, never backing down from a challenge, even when the odds are stacked against him.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder if the D isn't just a bloodline, but a lineage of those who refuse to be controlled, those who carry the torch of freedom.
It's almost like a secret society, a network of individuals spread across the world, connected by this unseen thread, fighting for a better world.
And that fight could be more literal than we think. Remember, we were talking about the One Piece. What if that legendary treasure isn't just about riches and fame?
What if it's a weapon? Or a key to unlocking some ancient technology, something that could actually shift the balance of power?
Imagine if the One Piece could control those ancient weapons we talked about, or expose the truth of the Void Century to the entire world.
It would be a revolution, wouldn't it? The world turned upside down. But if it's that powerful, why hasn't anyone found it after 800 years?
Maybe it's not just about finding it. Maybe it's about being ready for it. Maybe the One Piece reveals itself when the world is ready for change, when someone with the right spirit, the right will, comes along.
Someone like Luffy. It's almost like a test, isn't it? A trial by fire to see who's worthy of inheriting the legacy of the Void Century.
And speaking of legacies, we have to remember that the world we see in One Piece is the world that emerged from the ashes of the Void Century.
Right. What kind of world was that? Was it a golden age, a time of peace and prosperity? Or was it a world built on a foundation of lies and oppression?
We can only speculate, but the very fact that the world government has gone to such lengths to erase this period suggests that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah. It makes you think about how history is often written by the victors, how narratives are shaped to suit those in power.
Exactly, and that's why we have to be so careful about accepting the official version of events. We have to dig deeper, look for the inconsistencies, the alternative perspectives.
We have to be like archaeologists, sifting through the layers of history, trying to piece together the truth from the fragments that remain.
And it's not just about understanding the past, it's about understanding the present. Because the echoes of the Void Century reverberate throughout the One Piece world.
Think about the power dynamics, the political struggles, the fight for freedom and justice. These themes are all rooted in that lost century.
And they're not just confined to the world of One Piece, they're themes that resonate in our own world as well.
Exactly. The Void Century is a mirror reflecting back at us the complexities of human nature, the struggle for power, the manipulation of truth.
But it's also a story of hope, of resilience, of the enduring human spirit that refuses to be extinguished. And that brings us to the concept of haki.
Haki, the mysterious power that exists within all living beings. The ability to sense the world, to connect with others, and to exert one's will upon reality.
Precisely. And you know how we were talking about the will of D and how it might represent a lineage of those who challenge the established order?
Right.
Well, what if there's a connection between the D and haki? What if those who carry the will of D are naturally predisposed to a specific type of haki, specifically conqueror's haki?
The haki of kings.
Yeah.
The power to influence others, to inspire, to lead.
Exactly. We've seen Luffy use conqueror's haki to rally allies, to intimidate enemies, and even to overpower weaker wills. Could this be a manifestation of the will of D? A power that goes beyond physical strength and taps into something deeper, something more primal?
Now we're talking. If that's the case, then the conflict between the will of D and the world government takes on a whole new dimension. It's not just about politics or territory. It's about something much more fundamental.
It's a clash of ideologies, a battle for the very soul of the world, a fight to define what it means to be human, what it means to be free.
And that fight, that struggle, is rooted in the Void Century, a period that continues to shape the world long after it's been erased from memory.
And that, my friend, is what makes the Void Century such a powerful and enduring mystery. It forces us to confront the big questions, to challenge our assumptions, and to look beyond the surface of things.
It's a story that transcends the boundaries of fiction and speaks to the heart of what it means to be human.
It's a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming power, the human spirit will always find a way to resist, to fight for freedom, and to seek the truth.
Conqueror's haki, the will of D, the Void Century. It's like we're peeling back layers of an onion, and each layer reveals something even more intriguing and mysterious.
It really is. And Oda, the creator of One Piece, he's a master at this, isn't he? Weaving together history, mythology, philosophy, and adventure into this epic tapestry.
It's like he's playing a game with us, giving us just enough information to pique our curiosity, but never quite enough to fully solve the puzzle.
And the Void Century is the biggest puzzle piece of them all. But it's not just a random puzzle, is it? There's some really fascinating parallels between the Void Century and real-world history and mythology.
Yeah, that lost civilization, the Great Kingdom. It almost feels like the One Piece version of Atlantis, doesn't it? A technologically advanced society swallowed by the sea, erased from history.
Right. And the names of the ancient weapons, Pluton, Poseidon, Uranus, I mean, those are straight out of Greek mythology.
Gods and titans clashing for control of the cosmos. It's like Oda's drawing on these archetypal stories that have captivated humans for centuries.
Exactly. It's as if he's tapping into our collective unconscious, reminding us that the themes of the Void Century are themes that have played out throughout human history time and time again.
The rise and fall of empires, the struggle for power, the cyclical nature of destruction and rebirth. These aren't just fictional concepts, they're reflections of our own reality.
And that's what makes the Void Century so thought-provoking. It's not just a story, it's a mirror reflecting back at us the complexities of our own world.
It makes you wonder, if the truth of the Void Century were to be revealed in the One Piece world, what would happen? Would it bring about a new era of peace and understanding? Or would it plunge the world into chaos?
It's hard to say, but think about Robin when she first learned about the Void Century. It terrified her.
She was carrying the weight of that knowledge, that forbidden history, all on her own.
And the world government, they're so desperate to keep that knowledge hidden. They know the power of the truth and they're willing to do whatever it takes to suppress it.
It's a classic case of those in power fearing the knowledge that could threaten their control.
But the more they try to suppress it, the more powerful that knowledge becomes. It's like a seed buried deep in the ground, just waiting for the right moment to sprout and bloom.
And when it does bloom, watch out. The One Piece world will never be the same.
It could spark revolutions, topple empires, reshape the entire geopolitical landscape. But it could also bring about something beautiful, a chance for the world to heal, to learn from the mistakes of the past, and to build a better future.
So the Void Century isn't just a historical mystery, it's a ticking time bomb. And when it explodes, everything changes.
It's a story that challenges our understanding of history, of power, and of truth itself.
And that's what makes it so compelling. It's not just entertainment. It's a story that makes us think, that makes us question, that makes us look at the world in new ways.
And as we continue to explore the world of One Piece, the Void Century will remain this central enigma, this driving force pushing us forward.
We'll keep searching for clues, piecing together fragments of information, trying to unravel the secrets of this lost era.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll find ourselves face to face with the truth. Standing at the precipice of a new era, ready to embrace the challenges and the possibilities that lie ahead.
And for all you listeners out there, keep those theories coming. We're all in this together, trying to piece together this incredible puzzle. The Void Century may be silent, but its echoes reverberate throughout the One Piece world. And it's up to us to listen, to learn, and to uncover the truth that lies buried within its depths. Until next time, happy diving.
Thanks for sailing with us today, Nakama.
We love exploring the One Piece world with you. Got a theory or a favorite moment?
Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't already.
Until next time, keep chasing your treasure.
See you on the next adventure.